sentence will be avoided.
But if murder charges were brought that did bring the death sentence, under the Constitution, that you cannot impose the death penalty on somebody who was under 18 when they committed the crime. So there's 3 teenagers here that were under 18 at the time of this crime. And so that could be part of the reason why maybe they're not bringing a charge that brings the death penalty, because they wouldn't be able to even get the death penalty for those 3 teenagers. But we'll see if more charges are brought, they would own the maximum those 3 teenagers could get. It would be life in prison.
In terms of trial, Saig Dahl says the prosecution will likely want all 6 defendants to be tried together, while their defense teams will work to sever the cases.
Usually the prosecutor wants to try them all together. It's easier for their case, and also maybe better for their case, because it's harder to pin, it's harder for the defendant to say, oh, I didn't do this, he did it, when they're all being tried at the same time. The defendant usually always wants to separate the case for that same reason. If a co-defendant looks more guilty, maybe based on the evidence, than them, they don't want the jury to prejudice them because of that. They don't, they're hearing all the evidence, and usually all the evidence isn't exactly the same, level of, persuasiveness against all 6 defendants equally. And so it does hurt maybe the lesser involved defendant, let's say, if all the evidence is presented at the same time. So usually the defendants will always ask to separate it.
Hayes says his community is looking ahead to a time when justice is served.
But everybody